as we finish up the McBeth set that we have here, the next disc in line is the ESP Buzzz. Let's go. We have the Buzzz. That is an ESP plastic. Now, I'm a buzz thrower, so the feel is very familiar to me. The plastic, I don't think I've had it in ESP before, but it's a tad bit, it's stiff, but not real gummy. But it does have good grip for it being as stiff as it is. Artwork, lovely. Thanks, Paul. Looks all nice and well, feels all nice and well. Now let's see if it flies all nice and well. Let's go to the field. All right, so here we go with this first run Paul McBeth Edition Buzzz and ESP. And with that throw right there, I think I'm hooked. It was nice and straight, a little bit of turn, a little bit of fade. This is about the same, but it was thrown up a little nose up and faded out a little harder than the first. We are throwing in windy conditions on all these days, so I don't recall the exact direction of the wind. I think this was into a headwind, but still getting the same predictable flights out of the disc. This turnover didn't quite have the height to do what it needed to do. But when we're talking about mids, you're really talking about the versatility of shots. I mean, you can get some putters out as far, you can dial back on some fairways, but you're looking at the shape and the versatility that you can get when it comes with a mid-range. I personally have 4 slots for mid-ranges, and this right here would fit into one of those slots perfectly. It's a nice wide hyzer here. You see it just comes back into the field to play like expected. There's nothing really strange going on even when it was windy. This again, a little nose up, but goes out straight and then just fades back in. This last throw here is a forehand, and I don't forehand mids. This may be the reason, but it does go out, turn to the left and keep going.
Damas y caballeros, tenemos el nuevo Buzzz de Discraft por Paul McBeth. Sorry, I forgot to hit the ESP button, which is right there. This is the Buzzz by Discraft, Paul McBeth's new mid-range, his first run. Flight numbers here, 54-1 and 1. This feels like a winner. The plastic on this ESP plastic, very familiar feeling plastic. If you've thrown something like Star Plastic for Innova or Fusion Plastic for the Trilogy brand, you'll know what this feels like. Beautiful design on the disc. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a raised edging here underneath the disc. So just feels comfortable there. Nothing of a bead, so to say, but feels good in the hand. So let's take it out for some test flights and see how she performs in the field. All right, so we have the Paul McBeth Buzzz here in action in the field. So these first initial throws are really just kind of warm-ups to see how this disc is going to react at 60-70% on hyzer. See if it'll hold the hyzer line. There was a little bit of a headwind from this side of the field that particular day, and on hyzer, as you can see, just a nice easy release. It is holding that line well. Then as you start to torque up onto it and give it some more power, it still holds that line. You're going to get more of a flip up to it. But now we're getting closer out to the 300-foot range with a little bit more torque. At this point, I felt very comfortable just giving this disc some real power to see, for my arm, how it's going to hold up to that particular torque. And there were no issues. Throwing this disc flat, throwing it with hyzer, throwing it with anhyzer, it holds a relatively true line the entire time and will always give you a predictable finish. Now again, this was from this side of the field, we had a little bit of a tailwind, which assisted in that disc coming back on an anhyzer. But even throwing it into a headwind here with some anti, you see it just glides to the right subtly, and it doesn't get out of control or cuts into a roller. So the versatility and what you're able to do with this disc is pretty surprising, being that it's a Buzzz and it's more of a neutral mid-range. In this particular run in plastic, it holds up well to torque. Even on forehands, on a little bit of a hyzer flip here, this disc is just going to go straight, and then finish at the end. I'm very impressed with how well this disc actually holds up to torque.
The first run Paul McBeth Buzzz is getting a rating of in the bag. Discraft has just knocked it out of the park with this disc. I've never thrown ESP plastic before, but because of this disc, would be willing to try any disc in that plastic. Love the disc because it is true to its numbers. Mid-ranges are very important in anyone's bag, and if you don't have a mid-range, you have something in your bag that you throw as a mid-range. This one could complete anyone's bag, easily finding a spot or building a spot of his own. That's why it's in the bag.
So the Paul McBeth Buzzz is getting a final rating of in the garage. You know, for myself, this has a similar familiar feel of what you want that mid-range slot to be. If you've thrown a Buzzz before in any other plastic, this is that same mold, just a different plastic. This particular plastic itself, there seems to be something about the slickness of it that just didn't click with me. And I just wasn't getting the same amount of glide that I've gotten out of the Buzzz in the ESP or the Big Z plastic. I was very impressed with its ability to hold torque and its stability itself overall, but for myself, it's just not a good fit of what I'm used to. So it's going in the garage.
Alright guys, thank you for watching, and girls, thank you for watching the video. We are now going to give away this Buzzz.
I believe it's pronounced bzzzt.
Oh, because it's 3 Z's, it's sleepy. Want to give a shout out to Bomb Squad Disc Golf.
Bomb Squad! Keith!
For
Brandy!
Giving us the disc and also authorizing us to give it away to one of you. So, if you stay tuned, you can see, we'll announce. Nope.
Hey, wait a minute! Not this again. Sorry to do this, buddy.